Okay, so good morning. We've listened to two voices welcoming all of you here. And I just wish to welcome you to this venue, to the Casina Pio Quarto. Make sure the final vowel is A. It's not quite casino, but casina. So I'll tell you briefly about, so that's what you see. I'll tell you briefly about this story, the place where you gathered for these 2 days for your meeting. So the Casina Pio Quarto is a seat of the two academies of the Vatican. And I say Vatican because when you look at, you find Pontifical Academy of Sciences, and every pontifical means of the Pope. So it's the Academy of the Vatican or of the Pope. So the two of them, Academy of the Sciences and Academy of the Social Sciences. One is older than the other, but the two of them operate now from here, served by a small staff that as you go out here to go downstairs, you meet, which occupies the corridor on the right. So this initiative began. Okay. So this is a venue. You see this when you go down for meals. And it's an initiative that began way back in the 17th century with a young guy on the right. His name was Chessy. He was a scientist, and he decided to gather his colleague scientists to just get together to study issues and to discuss scientific matters. And that began in 1603. And in 1610, the older person on the left, Galileo, joined the group. And Galileo with his telescope, if you know the story. You know the story? Galileo with his telescope said that it's not the Earth that is the center of the universe, but the sun. And that caused a little bit of this uproar in those days. People did not quite receive that. So it was briefly put outside the group, but then any of you has a little bit of Latin. This plaque up here just talks about his reinstatement in the academy, okay, but by Pope Pius IX, and then John Paul II will do it in a very big way. So that is the initiative. That's how this academy began. And at that time, it was called the Academy of the Lincei. Lincei is based on that small animal in the middle there, lynx, which was a totemic animal with a gift of foresight, a gift of knowledge, and that can see far. So that's the name. When in France and Italy, you're likely to come out around the world, along the world, lynx or lincei this and lincei that. It's all based on that small animal. Secondly, when Chessy and his group died, the initiative went down small till it was taken up again by another abbot. So the name's abbot took up that thing, and he operated out of a place which is now in Rome, occupied by the Senate of the Republic of Italy. So Scapellini took it up till Pope Pius IX, very famous Pope for the Vatican. Pope Pius IX welcomed the group fully and extended coverage or support of the papacy or the Vatican to the group. Pius IX was also the Pope under whom the Kingdom of Italy decided to make Rome its capital. And then the Vatican withdrawing into this small enclave that we now call the City of the Vatican, protected by the Lateran Treaty between the Kingdom of Italy and the Vatican City-State. So that happened under Pope Pius the Ninth. And after him, his successor, Pius XI, decided to fully and permanently welcome the academy in this area, in this building, which Casina Pio Quarto means it was originally built by Pope Pius IV as a summer residence. So this structure wasn't built as an office, it was built as a summer residence of Pope Pius IV. and later on given to the Academy as its office and seat of operation. So for the space here, we just make do with what we have. It wasn't designed as an office, purely all set up. It's whatever it is, and we make use of whatever state we have. Now, if you look at this image on the screen, you see that on the left-hand corner, there is like a hole or a space. That space is where we're sitting now. When Pius the XI welcomed the Academy here, it was recognized that there was a lot of space that could be used as office, but there was no meeting space. And this structure was built at the corner there to provide a meeting place for the academicians when they come. It was he also who referred to the members of the Academy as senators of science. Okay, that's how much he appreciated, the work of science and, and all. So that's the formal opening of the place. And these are some of the figures that have passed through here as members of the Academy. Galileo, we mentioned. Guglielmo Marconi, you remember the inventor of radio. On the US side, they talk about Tesla. But on this side, they talk about Marconi, so it depends on which side of the Atlantic you find yourself. And then Fleming, and then so Max Planck, and all of these famous, so there's some more. We could continue with the list. One name we need to remember is Paul Crutzen, the last but one. If you these days hear any talk about the Anthropocene, that was a concept that was introduced by Paul Crutzen, which has now become a word. You heard of the Anthropocene before, right? No? You never heard Anthropocene? Yeah, you have. So that was that concept thrown out by him. And then Steve Hawkins visited here, and the list goes on. The Academy of Science has about 13 Nobel Prize winners in the past, and it went on until in 1994, Pope John Paul II thought that we should not have only Academy of Science, but we should also have Academy of the Social Sciences. And he then asked for the creation of the Academy of the Social Sciences, all of different names, different events of the Academy. And this we've gone a bit too far. So in 1994, he called for the Academy of the Social Sciences, whose president is Sister Helen here. And since then, it's been operating, and these are the different themes that the Academy of Social Science, which is the group giving patronage to your meeting this morning or today and tomorrow. So some of the subject matters covered by the Academy of the Social Sciences. Some of its famous people, again, list goes on. All of them, I think, are alive still. And some names you can probably recognize in Italy, New York, Stiglitz and co. And these are some of the work produced by the Academy of the Social Sciences. The booklet with which you're celebrating the event may end up being thrown out there to be also seen and printed later. So some of the events of the Academy of the Social Sciences, and these are the sites of the two academies that you can visit to find out details. Any work done like this, at the end of it, you either have a declaration, or then there's a call for the collection of all the input that you make, which is sometimes published together as a book, either as the acts of your meeting or on the subject called Varia, and they kept here in the Academy or distributed around the world for different people. But every material that has been done here, you can access on website for free, okay? And you're welcome to look at it with any subject matter that you may be studying or working with. So with this, just want to welcome you to this venue, and I trust you have a good time here in these next 2 days and have a lot of fun. Thank you.